Okay, class, here's what we have for you. When it comes to subfloor, this would be sheets of OSB or plywood that are going to cover your joists, and then your finished floor would end up going on top of it. The measurements of this subfloor is going to be 4 feet by 8 feet. So if I rearrange this correct for you, if we lined this up, this subfloor right here, we would end up getting 4 feet wide. Now, as you can see there, starting at 0, going to 4 feet. Now, I have long strips of this cut for you, so all you need to do is head on over to the bandsaw and cut them down to be 8 feet long. So, in this case, I got this set up at 8 feet. I would mark it at 0, square that off, and then once you set the fence up on the bandsaw, you're in good shape. Now, a common mistake that students make is, remember when we use the architectural scale, we got numbers coming from both ways. So this 0 hangs a little closer to the top, so we count off by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? It doesn't label every one, but it does label your 2, 4, but we know it's feet. Here's the kicker though. If we look close, from the other side, we got 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet. So it says 8 right here, but again, coming from this way, it's only 5 feet. We got a lot of students who see that 8, and then they start cutting their pieces to be that, but that would only be 5 feet in our scale. So we want to avoid that. So you're gonna head to the bandsaw, you're gonna cut those down, and we should end up with a whole stack of 4 by 8 sheets of plywood. So that's what we're going for. Again, I give you the 4. You guys get to cut out the 8. All right. So here's what we do is we're going to start in a corner. It's going to be one of the corners that you initially measured off of. So it's going to be this end, and I'm going to lay it down in this direction. Now this is important. When we have a piece of plywood, we want it to touch as many joists as possible. So we run the long dimension perpendicular to all the joists. We run the short dimension parallel with the joist. If we were to run it this way, in this case, we're only going to tie 3 joists together. We want to tie as many together as we can, because that way it is going to be a lot stronger. So with your first one, we got our hot glue gun, we got our piece here, and we got to work quickly. So we put a little bit of glue, and it's not going to be perfect, so don't worry about that, okay? And we're going to get this first piece in. Flush here, and then a little pressure down, and we have our first piece. Perfect. Now we're just going to work our way across here for the rest of these. Now again, you got to work a little quickly, otherwise the glue back here is going to dry before you're ready to put your piece down. So, all right, so now we got piece 2, and we just keep rolling here. So a little bit of glue. Okay, we got piece 3. And the idea is we're keeping it flush with this outer wall the whole time, and that's why laying this first piece correct is so important. Now, I get to my end, and I'm going to be a little short here. That's okay. We can't get pieces longer than 8 feet, so this is a common thing that happens out on the job site that we get to address. Okay, so now I get this one, flush with the outside, pressure down. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to take a full piece here, and I'm going to butt it up to my very end. I'm going to take my pen or pencil, and I'm going to scribe the bottom side here a couple times. So we don't have to measure in this case, but we're going to scribe it. And now I have a nice line that I can take over to the saw and cut it to length. For our next course, here's what we do is we do not put another full sheet down. What that does is it makes this joist have everything break on it and making this a weak point in the floor. So what we do is we take a half sheet, we cut a full sheet down, and we make it a 4x4 instead of a 4x8. And we're going to glue this down. Okay, like so. Now I already pre-cut this one, but again, if you're working at home, we'll play around with some solutions to see what you can come up with. Okay? All right, so once we start with a half sheet, then we're going to go back to a full sheet. Now our seams are going to break each time on different joists, and that's what we're going for. So we can glue again. We can glue again. Okay. Set that one down. And we're going to take this guy the whole way across. All right. I'm going to try to work quickly here for you guys. All right. Now, when we get to our end, same deal. We are going to take a full piece. We're going to butt it up. We are going to scribe it. And go ahead and cut that guy. I want to use a full sheet every other. So we go full sheet, half sheet, full sheet, half sheet. There we go. Full sheet, half sheet, full sheet. And then in the middle, everything is going to be a full sheet. Okay, so I'm going to cut these up and we'll take care of that. Now, on a normal floor, we would cover the whole entire thing. Because this is a project and we want to show off all of your good work, we're going to leave this open so you can look at it in the future. But when it comes to put our walls down, we don't want this drop off here. So what we do is we take this full sheet here to the bandsaw and we're going to cut it right down the middle. So this is a 2-inch strip, so we're going to set the fence at 1 inch. We're going to cut it right down the middle and we're going to get 2 pieces here. From here, we can go ahead and we'll do that scribing again. I got this guy in place. I'm going to scribe down here, and I'm going to cut that to length. I'm going to get these pieces in, and I'm going to scribe down here, and we'll cut those. I'm going to pause that while I get that taken care of. All right, so I got my end pieces cut and glued in, and now I get to do my border around the outside. So I just want to check to make sure I got the right pieces here. Good. So it is important when you guys go to do your border that you do these walls first. And here's the reason why. If we do our long piece first, oftentimes our border only gets to rest on this outside joist, and it'll have a tendency to want to fall in. If we do this first, it's also going to rest on this end piece, and then we should be in a better spot to kind of help keep it supported. Now, of course, this is only for our project. In real life, you would do the subfloor on everything, and so it would not be an issue there. But you guys have been working hard on this, so we want to make sure that it's going to last so you can display it for years and years. All right, so now I got my 2 end pieces, so my walls, when they go on, are going to sit nice and flat. Now I get to get this guy down to size. So we're going to sandwich this in between. We're going to mark this like so, and then I'm going to go cut this to length, and I'll be right back. All right, so we got this guy cut to length. He is ready to go. The only problem is he's covering up my stairs a little bit. So what we get to do is we get to take our writing utensil, and I'm actually going to grab one that's going to work a little better for this. I'm going to grab a short pencil. I'm going to line this up with the outside wall just as I want it, and I'm going to continue to do the scribing that we talked about. I'm going to go inside my stairs. And I'm going to mark this inside. And I'm going to mark this one on the inside. So it's a little tricky. And then I get to mark lengthwise along here as well. Okay, and of course I dropped my pencil, but I got this marked out now showing exactly what I got to take out. So if you're doing this at home, you might not be able to do this part if your stairs are on the outside wall, and that's okay. But if you're here at school, we should be able to scroll saw in and cut it long ways so it matches up real well. So let me give that a go, and we'll show you how it fits. All right, so now I got that little bit cut out, and it fits really nicely along the inside of my stairs. And this is the very last piece that we need to put in. So that's kind of cool. We made it this far. Again, it is a tough one though, because we got to get a whole lot of glue down in a short period of time. Keep good pressure, keep it flush with the outside. All right, very good. So now it is time to grade it. So you guys are going to take your grade sheet and you're going to grade yourself. Now, one of the things is neatness, and oftentimes we get these little spider webs from the hot glue gun. So it's in your best interest to try to clean all of those up and any big clumps of hot glue that we can take care of. But then it is time for you to grade it and then submit it to me, and I will grade it as well. So the reason we do that is as construction workers, we have to be really critical of our own work because the people we do the job for are going to be very critical. So when we can be real with ourselves and know where we did well and where we need to improve, we get better, and that's the whole goal. So here's how you do a floor frame, and I look forward to you guys doing your own.